brothers and sisters in Christ. Today is a very special day. I never thought I would be preaching the gospel in YouTube. And I'm going to be sharing a little bit of my testimony. Well, there's more stories that I have for you guys, that anybody that's dealing with anxiety, depression, addiction, or many other things that you're going through. I'll be making more videos of that, but today is a special day. This is one of my first videos that I'm gonna do in my ministry. So um I'll be sharing about the dreams that I had. That was in June 6th, 2019. And first encounter with God was when I was 17 years old. I remember coming on a Friday night after church. I just went to sleep. I just remember going to sleep that night. And then I woke up crying. And God was telling me, I have given so many dreams to people. I have talked to people, but everybody ignored me. Nobody wanted to listen. But I know I seen your heart that you're willing to listen. And one day you're going to come and serve me. And I didn't understand how he was going to work in my life. And now I'm here. He has shown me a lot. In dreams, God works with me in dreams. I could hear his voice also. And 10 years passed. I was already 27 years old. I was growing. I like to plant fruit trees. I like to grow my own stuff, have my own farm animals. And I was kneeling on the floor, planting a fruit tree, digging a hole. And I heard God's voice and tell me now it's time to serve me again after 10 years. And at that time, I wasn't working. I stopped going to school. I left college. And yeah, and my mom is like a prayer warrior. She likes to pray a lot. She wakes up in the early morning and the night. She even stays at night praying, reading the Bible. She reads the Bible left and right. And she was watching YouTube videos about the end of times. It was in 2019, so I was like, Mom, what are you watching those videos for? We don't live in end of times. You guys always told us, oh, God is coming, you must be prepared. I remember they used to put us that one movie Left Behind, that God is gonna come and rapture us, like without even knowing, like we're not even expecting it. That always traumatized me. I'm like, man, I need to ask God to forgive my sins as a little boy. And I used to tell my mom, just stop watching those videos. And and one night on June 6th, 2019, I wasn't dreaming about nothing. I was just sleeping. And then all of a sudden God put me in a dream. Like a direct dream. It's not like mixed dreams that you're here or you're over there. No, like a direct dream. And God showed me in the dream that I was in the big building filled with people. I saw women, kids, children and men. And a pastor came up to me. I know he was a pastor the way he was dressed up. He told me, "Can you buy food for all these people?" I'm like, "Sure." So he goes away. It seems like me and him, we were like fasting. We were not eating. And he just goes in a little room in the office. It looked like an office inside the building. He just goes inside the little room and locks himself in there. And I guess he went to go pray. So there was a little inside the building. There was like a little food market, and I gave the lady my debit card, and I insert the chip. I don't swipe no more. Now with the new chip, and I bought everybody food, and people were thanking me. Oh, thank you for buying us food for all of us. In a way, I was kind of mad at them because I was like, don't thank me, thank God. Because I felt like God was gonna get mad at me for people looking at me like, oh, this guy is something big. And I felt like something was wrong because I started saying, turn off the lights. And the thing that I got so scared when I turned off the lights, I got to see outside the building. I got to see like just chaos outside the building. I saw cars burn, people are dead, kids like dying, women dying. I saw it was complete darkness, but when I see people running through the fire of the cars and buildings burning, I got to see kids grabbing their parents' hands and running and trying to look for refuge, but I couldn't do anything about it. It feels like it was like the times of Noah. Like if you don't prepare for the flood, like you're dead. And it hurt me because I saw those kids like, man, like I could have bring those kids, that family in there, but they never prepared. They didn't prepare. And I was just like sad and scared when I saw all that. And then I turned on the lights and I saw the pastor. He came up to me in front of the whole people. He came up to me and said, to ask God what should we do now? And I was like, right there in that moment, I'm like, man, God is using me right now. I I felt like God was expecting me to answer to talk to him. So I turned around away from everybody. I didn't want people to see me. I turned away the opposite way and I just raised my hands like this and closed my eyes and just focused on God and God. What happened? You came already where we left behind? And all I could hear is God say, no, my son, I haven't come yet, but I want you to prepare my people for my coming. I want you to prepare. And I was scared because I was telling God, like, when I was telling him all that, like when I was a child, I wanted to commit suicide because I used to get bullied a lot because I was a Christian boy. They wanted me to cuss, to get mad, and they see how different I was. I never judged them. I was a quiet kid, try to avoid everybody. So it was hard being a child. But now I know I used to blame God for everything. I used to wake up crying. I don't want to go to school. God, take my life away. But now God showed me like why do I went through all this? Because the devil knows who I was. He already knows my future. He already knows God's agenda. The devil has his own agenda. God has his own agenda. Now I know why I went through all this. So I could get more stronger and I could tell people, look, I've been through this before. And you could overcome it. If I could do it, you could do it. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter your physical. Doesn't matter if you're short, fat, skinny, what race you are, it doesn't matter. Like God will toughen you up. And yeah, I told God, like, give me one reason to protect your people. One reason. Because I wanted to commit suicide. Show me what is my purpose in this life. And he wanted me to lead the people like Moses. Because one day, when they put the mark of the beast, and God showed me, it rewinded me in that dream. Remember when you install the debit card? Remember that. It didn't and you didn't have the mark of the beast yet. This was barely the beginning of the tribulation. God told me, like, yeah, you're gonna be leading the people, you're gonna warn them, you're gonna have to preach. And yeah, like, I was just couldn't wait to tell my mom about it the next day. And I told my mom I had that dream. I had a dream, and my mom says, you know what? I've been praying to God, telling him when, what times are we living right now? What kind of times are we living? Are we at the end? And she was telling me that she was praying to God that one of my children, please God, give one of my children a dream of what times we're living. And it turns out to be me. I'm the oldest. So we're gonna go to the Bible verse because there's been a lot of conflicts. Like me preaching about this. I know the churches will not let me preach about this because they want to preach about prosperity, and which I will talk about those types, why those churches don't prepare the people, they just focus them on money. Be talking about deliverance, repentance, and other things. So just stay tuned for the other videos. But right now, if you could go with me and read the Bible, I'm just gonna read certain verses out of the chapters. So if you could go to Matthew chapter 24, chapter 24, and read with me verse number 3. If you want, you could read it by yourself when you have the time. So, okay, so we're gonna read verse 3 and read with me. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of your coming and of the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said unto them, take the heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and I shall deceive many. So many people are going to get deceived, basically, saying, I am Christ. And we're seeing it already. You start hearing about Siberian Jesus and different Jesus around the world. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. And right now, you could see that there's wars right now. And social media and the news, it says it all. Wars already. Persecution. See that ye be troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but that end is not yet. And kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. And all these are the beginning of sorrows. Then they then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for all witness unto the all nations, and then shall then come. And if you go to Matthew 24, verse 29, and it says, immediately after the tribulation on those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And shall send his angels with a great sound of the trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect ones from the four winds, from the end of the heaven to the other. And then on verse 36, it says, but of that day and the hour, no man, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. He's basically saying that only the Father knows the when he's coming, when the Son of Man is coming. But these are the signs: earthquakes, the stars falling, the moon turning into blood. Those are the signs, and the trumpet also. And it says after the tribulation, so that means we will go through tribulations. And people say, no, 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 we're not gonna go through tribulation. God is gonna rapture us, and it's not necessary to pass through all this. Some people criticize me. They tell me, so when he's coming, what's the dates? Because a lot of people have said that, and people from church criticize me for that. And I tell them, read the Bible. It says it right there. After the tribulation, it says it right there. Matthew 20, chapter 24, verse 29. It says it right there. And yeah, there's been a lot of conflicts, and people are saying, oh, the rapture is near, and God is gonna come, and all you guys are gonna stay. It doesn't work that way. God is gonna put us to the test, just like those people in the Bible. Take us right now. How those people, we're not gonna match up to David, to Joshua, to Elijah, to all those people from those people in the Bible. Well, they will tell us, in our generation, we got persecuted, we got stoned to death. And us, what are we gonna say? Oh yeah, me, I was in TikTok, I got a bunch of followers, I got 1 million subscribers. Like, what makes us so better than them? What makes us that we don't have to go through all this? What makes us better than that? People don't think, they just say whatever. And yeah, like, I know people are gonna criticize me, but this is what I cannot tell God. God, you know what? Don't even speak to me. Don't even give me dreams, because people are telling me it's not true. But no, I'm not gonna be like that. I won't. I tell people I don't care what people think about me. I will not stop preaching of God's word just because somebody tells me, "Oh, well, you don't know nothing. You don't congregate," and that's the reason, in a way, like I start congregating, because they don't let me function. They want me to be a seat warmer and just be relaxed. They don't let me be like, God chose me. If God didn't choose me, then okay, I accept it. But I know God chose me. I know his voice. I will show you true evidence that God is with me, and God prepared me for the pandemic. I'll make another video. I don't want to make this video so long. So yeah, God prepared me for all these moments. There's a purpose in life for me and for many people. I know I'm not the only one that God has gave dreams. There's more people. And just be prepared, people. If God gives you a dream or works on you in different ways, just be prepared to be criticized, because If Elijah got criticized, if Noah got criticized, oh, a flood will never come. And it came. That's why I fast. I fast after this dream. I fast for 1 whole year. If I couldn't do it on a certain day during that week, I'll do it, let's say, on Monday. If I can't do it on Monday, I'll go Tuesday. It didn't matter. I fast. And God started revealing me all those things. Those things that are come to pass. So let's go to another Bible verse on Acts chapter 1, verse 17. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith God, and I will pour out of my spirit upon all flesh, and all your sons and daughters shall prophesy, and your young man shall see visions, and your old man shall dream dreams. And on my servants and on my handmaidens I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy. And it will show wonders in heaven above, and the signs in the earth beneath, the blood and fire and vapor of smoke. And the sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon shall turn into blood before the great and notable day of the Lord come. So it's the same thing as Matthew. So all these are true evidence that are gonna happen. Should we fear the tribulation? No. Some people are gonna die because they didn't prepare. Some people are gonna die because of God, because of Jesus, for preaching the gospel. God has given orders to different ones. Me personally, I don't think I will die, but I know I will be persecuted. God put me to protect his people. I have a reason to be here. So everybody has different orders. God will prepare. And those people that get persecuted right now in the Middle Eastern, in Africa, in China, one day soon we're gonna go through the same thing that they're going through, persecution. And all I can say, do it like how God said it. When he was already gone, he said, Father, I turn in my spirit to you. And he turned his spirit onto him. He put it in his hands. And if we ever go through that persecution and get killed, before you get killed, just say, God, in your hands I put my spirit onto you, and God will take care of you. I was reading another story right here in the Bible about Stephen, how he got stoned for preaching the Bible, and he dropped immediately when they stoned him. And I know because he turned his spirit into God, like he told him, I turn my spirit onto you, God, and he died instantly. So I know God will take care of you, take care of his people. There's nothing more important than your salvation. One day I tell people, I show them the badge. One day you don't need this, you're gonna need this badge. You're gonna say, take the mark of the beast. They'll tell you that. I guarantee. And that day we had to walk off away from our jobs. I'm not saying right now, don't walk away from your jobs right now. Don't quit. Don't quit your job right now. But just know that this life is not eternal. Right here, everything is temporary. Don't get hooked up on your looks. And I want this Lambo and I want this jet. No. If those preachers are preaching about that, they're not preparing you what's coming. I'm preparing you what's coming. Because what I'm gonna be preaching is not only at the end of times, is your salvation. So you decide who you wanna hear. Like you're free. Like I'm gonna be making my YouTube channel. I haven't made it yet, but the name I haven't put it yet. I haven't made it. And also I'm gonna be making an Instagram so you guys can follow me, message me if you need prayer, I'll pray for you. Um so yeah, just prepare people. Like this life is not temporary. If you're going through some stress right now, some difficulty, family crisis, we all been through that. We're going through that right now. There's gonna be a lot of separation in churches. You're gonna see all this because they don't have the guidance of God. They're not looking for Him. They're not praying, God, where am I? What am I had to do? What's happening? But God prepared me to these moments so I could preach to you guys about what is to come. Like you just have to watch out who you hear because they will say, "Oh, God is coming already. He's gonna snatch us." It's not like that. Read the Bible. Look at this Bible. I like this Bible because it shows everything. It's a whole Bible, but it's well taken care of. This is the King James Version. And if I have any doubts about anything, it has books like, oh, I'm dealing with depression. It shows me, oh, go to these books, go to these chapters. So it's a good book. So, yeah. So, God bless you all. I'll see you in another video. And yeah, just don't lose faith. That's all I can tell you. Do not lose faith. Do not get distracted what the world offers right here about fame and all that nonsense. And like I tell people, like in churches, they're only gonna be preaching about what they want to hear. They're scared to lose people. Me, I'm not scared. Me, I don't waste my time. If they don't want to hear me, okay. On to the next one. But a lot of people are hearing me. They're hearing me out. And tell God, like, if one of your child, husband, or wife has that gift of visions or dreams or anything, like, just pray to God. And you have doubts. All I could say, fast. Don't eat. For one, choose a day to fast, and God will reveal you something. God is not a mute God. God speaks. So I heard the voice after I woke up, and I will always be with you. Do not fear. After that dream, I just couldn't couldn't believe it that it was God's voice. Because all this time thought it was my conscience, but I realized God's voice is different from my conscious. What I hear my voice right here, I could hear myself, but when it's God's voice, it's something more louder, something more stronger. It's not my voice. And you're not crazy. Don't think that you're crazy. When you feel like God is speaking to you, it's because He wants to get your attention. He's seen who you really are. And if you get attacked, don't get discouraged because that's how the devil works. He wants to eliminate that person, because he knows his gift. So don't lose that gift. You know, never give up. So all I could say is just keep going and keep seeking God. God bless you all and take care. Keep your head up. Keep working. Keep doing what you have to do to provide for the family. Be a good husband. Be a good wife. Pray for your husband. Pray for your wife, your kids. Right now, the schools are crazy. So pray for your kids. I know a lot of parents are they're taking their kids away from school. They're going homeschool because of the craziness that is happening. Because I know Satan wants to do his crazy things. He wants it to be over, but it's not over yet until God says it's over. So don't worry about the rapture. Always be prepared and read the Bible and prepare, gather food, gather water, medical aids. So yeah, just have everything ready because you don't want to have a shortage and say, oh, well, we don't have enough water. Oh, we don't have enough food. And also, I have another dream. God, I told them before the pandemic started, and after I had this dream about the tribulation, I told God, give me another dream that I'm worried about food. How am I gonna do it with food? And God gave me a dream. I just slept, and God gave me a dream that I was in my backyard and people were behind me, and all of a sudden I saw a bright light. It looked like the sun, but more brighter and more closer to me. And I was praying, like again, I raised my hands, closed my eyes, and said, God, the people are hungry. They need to eat. We haven't ate. And God appears. And like the angel of God, I saw God. Like I didn't see his face, but I just saw this much of his sleeve. It was white with no stains, super bright, and I saw his hand. And he turned me a jar, a glass of like a glass filled with seeds in there, like big seeds. All I remember it was like those big seeds from the pumpkin seeds. They look like pumpkin seeds but bigger. And I just remember grabbing two out of the jar. It was a big jar, but once he gave it to me, it turned into a size that I could hold it. I could hold the jar, the glass jar, and I just got the seeds, and I just throw them two seeds, and two big trees grew, like big trees, and it was very green. Those trees were big, and yeah, like it just started growing without water, and I saw in the trees that they had like those little tiny dishes, like white dishes with food. I never seen those trees. That's like something biblical. I'm like, man, this dream is like biblical. Just like Joseph, like Joseph the dreamer. And every time I pull it, I pull those dishes out, the food filled with like, the dishes filled with food. I just pull one by one out of one tree, not the other one. I'm like, let's try this tree first. And then if it runs out, I'll get the other one. But no matter how much I was pulling, another one came out. Another one came out. Another one. And I was passing all that food to the people and feeding the people. And I was like, wow, God, what would I do without you? I was so worried. Maybe I was like, maybe you're not gonna answer this question. Maybe it's not the right time. But I know like it was that same night that I told them like I'm worried like about the food. And this is before the pandemic. It was in 2019. So it was between that dream was like in July, I think, of 2019. After the other dream that was in June 6th. So I had to look at my booklet where I wrote everything about my dreams because I like to write. I like to write them, but I also have pictures about other things that God speaks to me, and I wrote it down in the social media. And people did not understand what was gonna happen to this earth. That that's what's gonna happen. I have a picture of that, and it shows the date way before the pandemic, because God told me to warn the people to prepare for what's gonna happen. So I'll be making that that video on my next video. I don't want to make this one longer. So I'm gonna go step by step and yeah, just God bless you guys and see you in the next video. Stay tuned, subscribe and like. And yeah, we'll see each other on the next video. God bless you all.